Senator Melendez.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to start by asking a question of the author, if I may.
Will you accept a question, Madam?
Of course.
She will.
Thank you. So what I would like to know is, does this constitutional amendment place any restrictions on when a woman can get an abortion?
It is consistent with current California law, so what exists today is as it would be. It is between the doctor and the client, the patient.
Okay, so if I may, because in reading the bill, I don't see anywhere, I mean, it's 3 sentences, so I don't see anywhere in there where it states that it is in accordance with current law. It seems rather open-ended, so I'm trying to understand where in the bill it would be very clear, should this go to a court, that it is to coincide with current state law.
It's simply stated, abortion right to contraception. It doesn't change practice in California. That is between a doctor and the patient.
Okay, thank you. And I anticipated that that was going to be the answer, but I appreciate the response to it. With respect and deference to the pro tem, she feels very strongly and passionately about this issue. I feel very strongly and passionately from the opposite viewpoint. So I will share with you my thoughts, and I was listening to the comments made and the suggestion that there is fear and dread across California, and I just don't understand why someone would say that, because if there's any fear and dread across the state of California for women, it's because perhaps people in this legislature have whipped them up into a frenzy of fear, because under no circumstances that I can possibly imagine is abortion going to be in peril in California, no matter what the Supreme Court decides. And oh, by the way, let's talk about the fact that the Supreme Court decision doesn't ban abortion. It puts it back on the states. I don't know under what circumstances anyone in this body would think that the very next day or in the very near future even, that California would then suddenly turn course and change its position on access to abortion in California. That's just not living in reality. I also will tell you that I don't think it makes a lot of sense or is necessarily appropriate to compare access to abortion with laws that have been passed relating to viewing pornographic material. That's just entirely different. And as a woman who's given birth to 5 children, I just find it insulting that anyone would suggest that somehow those two are in the same category. And it's not a personal, attack, it's just my personal feelings. In addition, I noticed that we had our governor who said, I think his quote was something about we're not going to sit on the sidelines as a state. And yet, he is sitting on the sidelines, his body is sitting on the sidelines when it comes to other issues that affect nearly everyone in this state, like the price of gasoline, that's almost $7 a gallon. That's something that affects everybody, but on something like this, he doesn't want to sit on the sidelines. On something that affects so many Californians and businesses, not a peep. I think the priorities are a little misplaced here. I guess I'm not going to change anybody's minds in here. I recognize that, but I felt that the other side of the issue should be represented. I will leave you with the statement from Pope Pius, if I may read this.
You may.
Yes, thank you so much. He said, "Those who hold the reins of government should never forget that it is the duty of public authority, by appropriate laws and sanctions, to defend the lives of the innocent. And this all the more so, since those whose lives are endangered and assailed cannot defend themselves, among whom we must mention in the first place are infants hidden in their mother's womb. And if the public magistrates not only do not defend them, but by their laws and ordinances betray them to death at the hands of doctors or of others, let them remember that God is the judge and avenger of innocent blood, which cried from earth to heaven. I respectfully request a no vote.